Hello, peoply persons. Welcome back to MicroCraftTV. Today I'm going to be doing a little serious commentary on Dota 2. This will be a kind of a showcase for how I play Sven, and it will have some just some general commentary on the game. This game is not very balanced, not Dota 2, but this match in general. We get a few early levers, I believe, so I'll just say that ahead of time. But it was a fun game for me nonetheless, and I did pretty well as Sven. I play him as a carry in this matchup. I'm going to go over Dota 2 here briefly, just for some people who might not know what Dota or Dota 2 is, or those types of games. Dota is a MOBA game, which stands for a multiplayer online battle arena game. You have these two large structures that I just showed you there, and these extra surrounding structures. These are barracks. They produce units that push through these lanes here. You have a bottom lane, a middle lane, and a top lane. And the goal of the game is to push these towers and eventually push right back into the enemy base, destroy their buildings, and eventually destroy their largest structure, an Ancient, which is right in the center here. This big glowing orb of ominous osity, as you can see there. There are plenty of items which will help you play your hero. There's many heroes to choose from. I believe currently in Dota 2 right now there's like 24 or so heroes, 30 or so heroes. Here you can see Sven. That's who I am. He is a strength-based hero. Each hero has a different primary attribute. There's strength, agility, intelligence. Intelligence benefits mana and mana regeneration. Agility affects armor and armor attack, and attack speed. And strength affects health and health regeneration. And whatever your primary attribute is also gives you +1 point of damage for every point you have in that attribute. So I play Sven as a strength carry, which means that in the late game I will be trying to get extremely fed, which allows me to tank a lot of damage and also deal massive amounts of damage. Although Sven is often played as a support, especially in the pro scene. And that's totally fine. When you play Sven as a support, that means he's gonna run around, farm some of these minions that you see here, and try and get items that will help the team, and also allow him to gank any lane where it's called for. So what I pick the Coaling Blade, the Ring of Protection, and 2 health potions when I start off. Like I said, I'm playing him as a carry, and this allows me to get last hits off. Last hits are very important in Dota. Many of you will probably know of LoL, where you can farm minions to your heart's content. This is not the case in Dota. Dota, it is very important to get last hits off on minions and enemy heroes. This is your primary source of gold, and in League of Legends it's much easier to do this, whereas in Dota it's much harder and much more important, to be honest. So here you can see that I have taken 1 point in my stun and 1 point in my cleave attack. My stun is very important for doing damage and stopping heroes that might be running away. I am going mid right now, actually, because Night Stalker did not feel comfortable going up against the enemy Viper, the enemy team's Viper, which is that little flying serpent-type thing that you see there. He has a poisonous attack, which is pretty hard to deal with, especially if you're melee. And I was asking our team's Sniper to go top. He is a ranged hero, but he was unresponsive, so I decided to go mid and do what I can. So here I am, just trying to tank some damage. You see these towers here. I'll just explain those real quick. Towers are to prevent the enemy creeps from going straight towards your base. Unlike LoL, again, I keep making comparisons to LoL, but I think that's a really well-known game. Unlike LoL, the towers are not nearly as helpful as they are in LoL. They do plenty of damage, but heroes can still tank a fair amount of damage before they're killed by a tower. If you know the early game of LoL, you can usually take maybe 3 or 4 hits from a turret before you'll die. That is not the case here. Towers are mainly to prevent creeps from pushing forward, and you can use those as a defense mechanism to help you fight off enemy heroes that might be pushing your lane. You can see that I did a little stun action there, did a little damage to the enemy Viper, but he got away unscathed. I believe he goes back and heals. So I don't get that kill off yet. I do have 1 kill already. I think I might have missed showing you that, but I stunned the enemy Broodmother while she was in turret range, and the sniper, myself, and the turret were able to take her down. That's where I got that kill from. So here you can see me running in. I've used my 2 health potions already, which means that I have no regeneration. If I take too much damage, I'm going to have to go back to my base to heal. But that is okay. A-okay. The enemy Clockwork seems to be doing a strength-based build, which is standard for him. 2 branches, 2 gloves, which have +3 strength each. He is a strength hero. The Broodmother is a good pushing hero, and the this guy is a good hero for draining mana and dealing damage. He has 2 strength gloves. He's an intelligence hero, so I don't know why he got those 2 strength gloves. Looks like the enemy Viper is getting 5 masks, which will allow you 50% regeneration to your mana. I do not agree with that. He definitely needed to get something else besides the mana regen to make him a little bit more fit to try and battle me. He could have used maybe some extra strength or agility for a little bit more tankability and damage output. Unfortunately, he decides to go with those 5 masks, and I do not believe that's going to work out for him in the near future. Here you can see Broodmother just trying to get off some last hits. Here you can see the enemy's courier bringing some items. Couriers couriers transfer items to players that are in battle that don't want to leave the lane. It's very important in Dota to not leave your lane. You miss out on valuable experience and gold, which is it's very hard to make a comeback in Dota, so you want to try and stay on top of the game as everyone else. Falling behind is extremely hard to come back from in Dota. So here you can see I'm just pushing ahead a little bit. I have 3 points in my stun and 2 points in my cleave. I like to do that when I'm playing a carry. And here I'm actually doing some serious damage to the Viper, but he again gets away. I like to get 2 points in my cleave and 3 in my stun without anything in the war cry, because that helps me farm, and when I'm playing a carry, I like to get items earlier on. You can see that I got a Ring of Basilius, a Gloves of Attack, attack speed that is, and a Belt of Strength. The extra damage and mana regen from the Ring of Basilius allow me to throw down more of my stuns. And it looks like I'm going to try and come in here and stun him and get the kill off, and I am able to, and that is the 2nd kill of the game for me. But like I said, I get the Ring of Basilius for that extra damage and mana regen, which allow me to throw my stun. I get those gloves and the Belt of Strength because I'm building into some treads of mobility, which will allow me to get extra strength and some attack speed and some movement speed as well. Those are important to get early on. You definitely want to have a lot of mobility, especially in Dota. There is no way to back like you can in LoL. There's no way to teleport back to your base unless you buy an item like a Scroll of Town Portal. And so it's very important to get movement speed items when you can, especially in the early game. I am going around. Here you can see different runes. I pick up an invisibility here, which is a good thing I did because I decided to walk back this way for whatever reason, right past the enemy Viper. But because I have invisibility, I get away unscathed, even though I'm low on health. Those runes are great for being able to gank with. They will give you different bonuses. I believe there is double damage, which gives you a 100% increase to your basic attacks, the basic attack damage. There is a regen, which completely regenerates all of your health and mana. There is an invisibility, which obviously makes you invisible, and a haste rune, which increases your movement speed to maximum, I believe. Here you can see Viper, he was trying to pick up some items from the enemy courier. Unfortunately, he did not build what he was trying to. He was trying to build a soul ring, but he forgot the HP item, the ring of regeneration, which gives you +3 regeneration to your health. And instead he bought an extra mask. So he ends up with 6 masks, and that's really not doing him any good, especially since I've already put him behind by killing him a couple of times. Here you can see Broodmother trying to push her lane. She has an ability that allows her to create extra little minions, extra little spiderlings, and that's a really great, useful ability for pushing. Up top, you have Clockwork battling it out, and he is going to get away, it looks like, with very little health. He's going to just try and stand by his tower, which is a bad idea, because the Tidehunter would definitely be able to kill him pretty easily. Here I am again at mid, trying to take down that enemy Viper, throwing down a stun first, just trying to get him low on health, trying to get him back off, trying to get him to back off so that I can deny him experience and gold, which again is ever so important. That really builds on itself, so the later in the game, oh, and I get the kill off too with a one last stun. But like I was saying, it's always important to keep your enemies from being able to farm. In the late game, you can really tell if somebody's been under-farmed. They'll be much lower level, and they'll have fewer items and less powerful items as someone who's farmed a normal amount. Broodmother and Night Stalker here going at it a little bit. Looks like Night Stalker is going to have to back off with 48 health, it looks like. So that was really close. Sniper probably could have finished off Broodmother if he had used an ability, but that's okay. He's just going to keep farming and laying there. You can see this tower is getting pretty low on health, but I'm trying not to take too much damage. It had focused on me. But we're going to take it down here. And I'm just going to back off. I don't want to overextend myself too much, just in case someone's coming to try and gank me in mid. Another thing you'll notice about the Broodmother is that while she's in her web, she is invisible. That's a huge bonus for Broodmother. And she has increased health regeneration. Here I'm going to be attacking these Ancients with my ultimate, which gives me 100% attack damage at level 1. These Ancients give massive amounts of gold, which is why it's important to kill them whenever you can. As you can see there, I got like 250 gold, and that's going to help me get my next item. Viper here, just pushing mid a little bit. Still has his 6 masks. Got his first skill maxed. Second skill has 3 points in it, and nothing on his third or his ultimate. Top, Clockwork just doing his thing. He's got plenty of strength items. I think he's probably one of the better players on the enemy team. Sniper doing a little damage to the Broodmother down bottom, but she is definitely not going to die considering she has that invisibility and passive regeneration. Me going for another kill on the Viper. I do not believe I get it off there, but I get him down to about half health. Then I just farm a little bit, getting some last hits on those minions. You can see that I have 4 points in my first, 4 points in my second abilities, and 1 in my ultimate. Still have nothing in Warcry, which I'm not too worried about at this point. And it looks like I'm going to be able to kill that enemy Viper again, just for the fact that that stun is so powerful. I believe it does 300 damage at level 4, which I have it at. And it's got like a 2-second stun. It's really a great ability for hunting down enemy heroes. Down at bottom, you can see they're hitting that tower pretty hard. Up at top, Clockwork seems to be hanging in there all right. I pick up an illusion ruin here, and I'm gonna use that to help me push the tower. Those illusions take increased damage and deal reduced damage, but they're still nice. They still add a little bit of a bonus. Plus, the tower or enemy minions might attack them and allow me to get in some extra hits without actually taking any damage, and that's always important. Broodmother and Clockwork both seem to be kind of on top of it. She's got extra damage, mana regen. She seems to know what she's doing better than some of the other players. Here you can see I'm going again for the Ancients. I picked up a double damage ruin, which really allow me to take out those Ancients pretty quickly, especially with that 60% cleave. That is my second ability. It's a cleave that allows you to hit through multiple enemies. 60% of that damage will go to enemies in a 200 radius, and that's extremely helpful when trying to farm, which again is why I get it when I'm running a carry. I've got 2 points in my ult now and 1 point in Warcry. I'm coming bottom to try and gank one of these two, but it looks like Night Stalker is out of mana and low on health, so he's not going to be able to help me much. So I just back off, kill some of these minions so that they don't get to the tower and do any damage to it. I am phased out, but really that's not going to do much here. So I am just going to back off and play it safe for the moment. I'll dive in a little bit, see if I can do anything, but with that Broodmother invisibility, I don't look to be able to do much. Clockwork pushing top fairly well. He's got a whole wave of minions there going towards the tower. Tidehunter, I believe, just warped in though, so he's going to be able to deny that. And prevent that tower from taking any damage. I believe, yeah, I stayed bottom here. I believe yeah, I went back and got some extra items. You can see that I've got a Mithril Hammer there, and I believe that's an Ogre's Club, which gives me 10 to strength and 24 to damage, which is huge at this point in the game. Viper pushing the middle tower there a little bit. You can see that that's down to about half health. Up top, we can see Clockwork getting killed with a mix of Viper's with Sniper's ultimate and just general damage from both Tidehunter and Sniper. So I'm back. I am healing up. I'm all healed up. I've got 2 potions of health. I've still got all these items. I am trying to build a Black King bar, and that's really good for some damage and some strength. That's going to help me out in the late game. It also has an active ability which allows me to become immune to spells, and that's huge, especially for certain heroes who have good ultimates, but are still vulnerable to spell immunity. Here you can see I'm going again for the Viper, but a wave of creeps comes and I'm forced to back off. Up top, Sniper and Tidehunter are still pushing. They look like they might be able to take out that tower soon. It looks like Night Stalker came with them. He teleported down though. Broodmother has her ultimate on, which has increased attack damage and lifesteal, so he's going to have to back off. And his ultimate is on cooldown, so he won't be able to do much. Me, I am coming top to try and gank. It looks like the enemy Clockwork is pretty low on health, but unfortunately he's going to be able to get away. I am just not fast enough. So I'm just going to farm around for a little bit, run around. I believe I kill some creeps on the way back home, or the way back to mid. Sniper has a nice ability which allows him to outrange towers, which is really helpful, especially if you're pushing a lane pretty hard and you've got a lot of units there, and you can just keep throwing down damage on that tower. Here I come in from behind to try and kill the enemy Viper. I do my ult, and I am able to get off the kill with a combination of my ult and basic attacks and that stun, which is increasingly more powerful considering that I have heavy damage output now. Here you can see Clockwork trying to contain Tidehunter, and it looks like he's going to be able to take him down. with some help. But he is going to get away, it looks like. Yeah, he gets a heal there. So I am just going to continue looking for ruins around the middle of the map. That one's out though, so I believe... Oh, I was not going to take those ancients. I was pretty low on health, so I am just going to go back. I believe I have enough money to get that Black King bar now, so I buy that and get back into the fray. Brood Hunter, or Brood Mother, pushing her lane there. Viper coming back. He is not doing so hot. I believe he has like 5 deaths now, so he is pretty damn far behind. I look like I'm level 11 now, so I believe he is a level 9, and he can't really do much mid now. His best option would probably be to try and farm some creeps or push another lane. Even though that would give me some farm, at least he wouldn't be feeding. Night Stalker here, just taking down some creeps. Top, we can see, is getting pushed pretty hard. I don't know if Tidehunter is going to be able to hold all that off. That top tower might take some damage here. It looks like he's not going to use his ult at this point. Me trying to gank that Viper again, but he looks like he's going to back off, realizing now that I'm just too powerful for him to be able to do anything to. So I get some nice farm here, get another level. Looks like I'm level 14 now. Night Stalker is level 11. He's building some damage items. Here I get an invisibility rune. It looks like I'm going to head back mid to try and gank the enemy Viper. He is unaware, so I throw down my ultimate. Just 2 basic attacks and a stun and 1 more basic attack, and he goes down easily. And that puts me into a high-level killing spree. I am 6-0 now, so that's definitely going to be hard for them to put me down at this point. At least in a one-on-one, they might be able to get me with a team fight. Here I try and push that tower, but they use the Glyph of Fortification, which gives their towers basically it gives the towers invulnerability. And I'm not going to be able to push too hard with that. Night Stalker, run around here. I think he was farming some creeps. Maybe not. Yeah, okay, he's going to farm some creeps here. Just getting a little farm. Looks like he's got a few damage items, a strength, a belt of strength, and a javelin, which do some damage. Top, it looks like Tidehunter and Sniper are pushing. I don't know if they're going to be able to take that tower down at the moment, but Clockwork looks to be in some trouble. Me, I am just getting a chainmail because now I'm going to be building a... what am I going to be building? A Cuirass, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to be building a Cuirass. That chainmail is one of the items you get to build that Cuirass, which is going to give me some extra tank ability. And like I said, when you're running a carry for Sven, you want a combination of tank ability and damage output. I back off here and use a potion to make sure I'm at a high enough health to be able to charge in and kill Viper if need be, in case there are any enemies lying around waiting to gank me. Brood Mother here, you can see he's got a massive lings. Wrong game. Got a mass of spiders that she's pushing bottom with. Top looks to be just holding out for some extra units so they can push a little bit harder. I pick up a regeneration rune and head back into battle. I believe I'm going to try and combat to do some damage to Brood Mother. But I'm at full health and mana, so I might be able to help out. Top looks to be pushing pretty hard. They did take down that tower. I'm not sure when they did that, but they did do it. You can see my stun also has a damage AoE, and it killed all those spiderlings. Brood Mother has that attack damage though, and that lifesteal, so she's putting me in an awkward position. I have to activate my war cry, which increases my attack speed and armor, and with a combination of that and my ult, with such high damage, I'm able to kill her. Not too much of a problem. Top seems to be holding on okay. They stopped that push that was going on. Me, I'm just going to do a little dance here, wait for my health to come back up a little bit, use that other potion, and then farm some minions, or farm some creeps there to get some extra money and experience. I don't want to stay in lane just in case, again, someone's trying to gank me. That Viper is extremely underfed now, so he doesn't look to be doing too well. Yeah, so I'm going to be getting an Assault Cuirass here. That increases lots of things: attack damage, attack speed, and armor. It also gives an aura, which increases allies' armor and attack speed. So that's a really helpful item. That'd be good for a support or a tank, just because it has that extra armor. A support or a carry, sorry. Looks like Night Stalker has got some nice damage items. Broodmother definitely knows what she's doing. She's got some lifesteal, some attack damage. Unfortunately, she cannot carry the team. She is definitely more of a support or a pusher. Clockwork has got some strength. He's got those phase boots and a magic wand, so he doesn't have the greatest of items, but he is doing alright without them. To the extent that he can with this, with our team doing so well. Especially me being pretty fed at this point.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We are throwing down a Glyph of Fortification. I was trying to save that, but I saw that I didn't have enough health, and I was not going to be able to take on all three of them, so I back off there. You can see that, sorry, you can see Tidehunter coming in there with Omni Knight. They look to be trying to do some damage. Omni Knight is trapped there by Clockwork's, one of his abilities. But it looks like they're going to be doing alright. Neither one is killed as of yet, although Omni Knight is taking some damage. But no, they both get out of there alive. Although the push is able to continue because Broodmother still has plenty of health. It looks like Tidehunter actually might get taken down, and yes, he does, with a combination of spells. I come in and push him back a bit, and I am able to. I almost killed Broodmother, but she gets away. Here I am trying to chase down, but I do not believe I'm able to. Oh, well, actually, no, I do get the stun off, and I am able to get a kill there. And Night Hunter picks up the second one. And then we kill these minions and actually do a little push of our own. So I am up to 8 kills there, I believe it says. And I will just be pushing mid. I have all of my skills maxed at this point. I'm doing War Cry, which increases my attack speed. You might not have noticed, but I have a Hyperstone, which also increases my attack speed. So I have a good amount of attack speed and damage now with a little bit of tank ability. Here Viper is trying to push us back, but again, he is so underfed that he just cannot deal with my tank ability. Even with the tower there, I'm able to get off a couple of good hits, but I am forced back before I can kill the Viper. But I get away unscathed, which is the important part. Not looking to die. I want to keep this streak of mine going. So I'm just going to fall back, and I believe I fall all the way back to base to heal up. Tidehunter is going mid. Broodmother just sitting there, keeping her health up. I believe she wanted to try and kill me there, but decided against it just in case there were some of my allies hiding around the corner and she was able to get ganked. It looks like he is building a rod, which is going to increase his ultimate, increase the power of his ultimate, reducing its cooldown and increasing its mana and life drain. So he bought the Ogre's Club and some Blades of Alacrity, I believe they're called, and a Staff of the Magi or whatever. Trying to play a little balanced. Broodmother's still running on those 4 items. Looks like she's fairly low on gold, so maybe she's... Oh, she has a Javelin waiting back at home for her. She just has to go and pick that up. But it looks like Tidehunter might be in a little bit of trouble. He is trying to back off. and he gets trapped by Clockwork again. This is kind of what happened last time. I'm gonna come in, try and save him. I throw down that stun. I try to get off some damage on Clockwork. Unfortunately, with all three of them there, I get a little too greedy, and I am taken down. First death all game, unfortunately, with those 8 kills and 1 death. That's just not fun, but you know, sometimes it happens. And they are able to take down this tower. At this point, I was a little worried, considering that even though it's just the 3 of them, Viper, I believe, is not doing anything at this point. He might even have left the game. I was a little worried that they might be able to push and do some sort of, you know, underdog backdoor sort of thing and kill some of our barracks and somehow manage to take us out, but we push them back, and I don't believe that's going to be able... I don't believe that's going to be a possibility. Tidehunter there, just making sure everything's a-okay before he goes back to heal. Sniper, looks like he's going bottom. Broodmother getting a second javelin, throwing down those webs, making a long web highway so she can stay invisible and keep that health regen up. You can see she's got massive regeneration there. Omni Knight pushing back on mid. Yeah, and Sniper is going bottom, so he's going to try and push a little bit there. He has 2 boots, which is kind of unusual because the movement speed doesn't attack, but the attack speed does stack. The movement speed doesn't stack, and the attack speed do stack. So that looks to be beneficial for him. Plus he has 2 boots with agility, which gives him bonus attack power. I did get that Assault Cuirass, and I do have wards now, which allow me to see invisible units. So if the Broodmother is around, I will be able to kill her. And I do ping Roshan here, and our team meets up to kill him. I was looking to get the Aegis of the Immortal, which allows you to revive with full health and mana 1 time if you are carrying it, which is why I wanted to... That's why I killed Roshan. Unfortunately, Tidehunter picks it up instead of me. I think that might have been a misclick, but that is okay. Because I do pretty well for the rest of the game, as you will see here. Looks like they're trying again to push mid. I think they're just kind of hoping that they'll be able to do enough damage to our barracks that they'll be able to, you know, kind of sneakily push in and take us out while we're kind of disorganized. But I do not believe that's going to be a possibility. I'm a little too fed at this point, and my team isn't doing too bad on their own. Viper and Beastmaster just sitting back. Both of them, I believe, have left the game at this point. Beastmaster left really early, and that's really unfortunate in Dota 2. It makes it very hard for your team to make any sort of play just because they're down a man, and team fights become increasingly hard, especially as characters gain more items and team fights get, you know, more dependent on those late game items. You can see Tidehunter getting trapped once again, but we're able to fight them off with a combination of my attack and my my stun and my cleave. You saw there that Broodmother, even though she was invisible, my cleave was able to kill her because she was in that radius, and I picked up, I believe, like a double kill there. I come back to get these Ancients, and I am extremely fed at this point, as you can obviously tell. I've got 2 pretty damn good items, you know, the Black King Bar and that Assault Cuirass, which give me plenty of opportunity to farm and keep getting even better items. Throw down that last ward there, just to make sure the Broodmother wasn't around, or wasn't going to be coming around anytime soon. So we're just gonna push mid now, it looks like. We're going to be trying to do some damage. And I am going to be getting some minion kills here. I do fall back, but I get healed up, so I go back in and we try to take down this tower, which I believe we do successfully. The team trying to come in to stop us here, but unfortunately they are just no match. I'm able to get that kill off there, while Tidehunter hunts down Viper. Looks like Clockwork's able to get taken down with a combination of Night Stalker's abilities, Tide Hunter, and myself. I get off that kill there with that stun, that ever-important stun. Night Stalker and I are able to kill Broodmother there, I believe. And we are able to finally break into this base. As you can see, these games tend to be pretty long. That is just a part of the game. That is, any sort of MOBA game tends to be pretty long. You'll find that League of Legends games tend to last a little bit less long because I think they kind of balanced it for that. The people who make League of Legends actually originally made Dota, and I think they tried to decrease the skill cap that comes with Dota, decrease the, how should I say, the curve, the learning curve that comes with Dota by making it a little bit more simple and a little bit more based on heroes. Heroes are pretty balanced in Dota, whereas heroes are pretty balanced in League of Legends, each on their own. Whereas in Dota, some heroes can be a lot more powerful late game than others. So here our team is just healing up. I think we are kind of looking to get ready for that final push. I am coming over here to pick up an item that adds 25 strength. I pick up the Reaver, yeah, which has a ton of strength there. I'm looking to build a Satanic, which has health steal as well. It looks like the team is coming again for one final push at the mid, trying to, you know, again, do that backdoor thing. That's a lot harder in Dota than it is in other MOBA games. Dota 2 especially, you know, they're, the buildings receive bonuses if to prevent backdoors, depending on which buildings are destroyed and which aren't. So here you can see a big team fight erupts. Tidehunter uses his ultimate to get those stuns off and some extra damage. It looks like Clockwork is going to go down first to Tidehunter and his basic attacks. I come in, get some stuns off here, looking to do some damage. Sniper uses his ultimate to do some extra damage. I'm just trying to run to catch up, and I do, with a combination of Night Stalker and myself, get that kill. Here we just farm, and it looks like this is going to be the final push. Yeah, even an early GG from one of the opposing team players. I do come back. I just want to get this extra item just for whatever the hell reason. I kind of figured that we have it wrapped up at this point, so I'm not too worried about my team going in, just the four of them. They are getting pretty fed on their own. So I just pick up that item, and here you can see us breaking into that base. A little comment there that it's not fun playing 3v5, and that's definitely true. They were down a man from the beginning, and Viper left like halfway through, giving us a lot of feed. And at this point, the game is pretty much over. You can just see that we're destroying their final towers, which will allow us access to the Ancient, allow us to kill that Ancient. Clockwork coming in, trying to get a kill off, and he does kill Night Stalker, but it's not going to be enough. Or no, sorry, he doesn't kill Night Stalker. Night Stalker does die, though. But everyone's killed at this point. I activate my ultimate. You can see the massive amount of damage I did. Those big drops from the HP bar and the Ancient. Those are for me, giving off my my swings of my giant sword there, and that is not an innuendo. So as you can see, I end up 12-1, not too shabby. This is my first time playing Sven on Dota 2. I'm used to playing melee carries though, so I did pretty well with that. And I appreciate you guys watching. So make sure to stay tuned for more Dota 2 content, and I will see you guys later.